chin. Opponents start to croaking, serious like a heart attack. The word we buggy choking, let's go. Attacking. Rest in peace if I catch you in my bracket. You know what? Scratch it. Speaking of the rats, you never catch me.
Oh shit. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so my name is Rene Sousa, 10th Planet Brown Belt. I've been doing jiu-jitsu for around like 14 years. I started with like Gracie Academy, kind of just like grew up like doing self-defense from when I was like 11 to like 16 with them. And then the past like 7-8 years I've been with 10th Planet, 10th Planet Bethlehem here, Zach, Thor, Grace, all those people that, you know, lead from the front, have always been competing and stuff, have kind of like molded me into like who I am today. And yeah, I've been just always competing on the circuit. Recently kind of broke out on the international circuit a little bit, was on the reality show Who's Next, and that was kind of like my big break. And yeah, just been really like fully committed to jiu-jitsu, quit my full-time job, whole jiu-jitsu spiel, love jiu-jitsu, breathe jiu-jitsu, and yeah, I'm just really happy to be doing something that I love so much. And yeah, I've really found my flow recently in terms of like how I like to compete, how I like to train. I really am like really into like the whole jiu-jitsu lifestyle of like traveling and doing jiu-jitsu and just meeting different cultures and stuff like that. So for me, like the jiu-jitsu way of life is like the best way. The buggy choke, to me, I saw it first when Cade hit it on PJ at Combat Jiu-Jitsu. PJ hit a sick double leg, and right off the double leg, Cade hit this buggy choke. Like it was just like a like immediate kill shot.
This buggy choke attempt. Look at that. That's a real submission. You see, it's PJ's left shoulder driving into his artery on one side, and he's in trouble here. He's getting squeezed out.
Oh, he taps! Oh, my goodness! Cade Rotolo via buggy choke.
It was really interesting to me, and that was February of 2021. First time I ever seen it, you know? And I mean, I train at 10th Planet, so we do a bunch of random crazy things. So I've been doing other stuff, but with the buggy choke, I just started doing it, and I started to notice like the success rate. Like most submissions, right? You start doing it and success rate's maybe at like 10, 15%. My success rate, just from watching it and then practicing it, not learning any techniques, maybe watching 1 or 2 Rotolo YouTube videos, was just like 50%, 60%, 70%, and all of a sudden like 90%, 95%, like kill shots on it. And from this position that's so tough, right? Like in side control, it's so difficult to get something going if your partner isn't doing anything, if they're just stalling, right? Like Hodger Gracie was talking about it the other day on the Lex Friedman podcast. Like if somebody doesn't want to engage from side control, it's really hard to get something going, getting an escape going if they're not moving, if they're not trying to go to mount, they're not trying to attack a Kimura, they're not trying to attack an armbar, they're not trying to fall back on your legs. So yeah, it's just a position that I found this little like, I consider it like kind of like a cheat code, you know, like you're like in a video game and you're like, oh, just put this cheat code in, boom, you know, and people don't see it coming. So for me, it's been really cool. And then obviously we know about me getting put in that double buggy.
Keep the weight on his leg, Case, so that there's no pressure.
That double buggy was kind of viral, but it was kind of awesome because I never had a feeling of like, this isn't the right thing to do. For me, it's just data collection. The data collection came back as, you need to learn how to finish a buggy choke. So for 3 months after that double buggy, obviously I was pissed, but I just like put my heart into the work and I just kept sharpening my buggy choke. And then I got the opportunity on Who's Next. He's gonna try to body lock past me and I'm gonna buggy choke him. And like, you can ask Andy Varela, you can ask Kyle Chambers. We drilled in the back before the match and that's all I drilled. Like I might've drilled 1 or 2 other things, but I visualized him body lock passing me and I watched that happen. So right as he went to circle my hips, the first time I felt like he was a little bit hesitant. So as he didn't cross my center line, the next time I was really framing away. And you can watch it the whole time, like the whole time that he's passing, right? When you play like normal guard, you're usually like this and stuff like that. The whole time I was just like this. I was just like see this opening? Like, go for this, you know? Like, so I was like really inviting him to pass, and I let him pass and let him pass right into the sawed-off shotgun of a buggy choke, and luckily caught it, and luckily just, you know, had everything perfect and was able to finish it. Luckily there weren't slams, because he picked me up like maybe like 2 feet in the air, and I was like, oh snap, if he slams me, I'm done. Ever since, it's just kind of picked up, and shout out to J-Rod. You know, J-Rod was a really good sport. Like, he was sad when he lost on the show, but then he was super hyped when he won ADCC trials with a buggy choke. And ever since then, it's been very crazy, like just getting random DMs from people in the middle of the night from like Kazakhstan or like Sri Lanka or something, saying like, dude, how can I fix this buggy choke? And I love it, you know, because it's just like, to me, people see me as like the buggy choke guy in a way, but I've been doing jiu-jitsu for a long time, and I do a lot more jiu-jitsu than just the buggy choke. So like this past weekend, I was at Worlds and I was able to hit a buggy choke, but I was able to hit a bunch of other submissions too. So I'm just, the buggy choke is important to me, but it's just another aspect of my game. So it's just cool to have like sort of like not just me, but me be a part of like bringing it to the world and start the whole like buggy choke the world revolution, you know? I think like the yin yang of it to me is like how you're like giving to get, you know, like how I'm like giving something that like almost like nobody can say no to. I'm like giving you like a silver platter, and you're like, dude, that's so shiny, and like you just, as soon as you reach for it, I'm like going for it, you know. But I think it has to do with a lot of like the setup. I think it has to do with a lot with the transition. I think people are really worried about the rest of my game, and they're just like, let me control him. And as you control me, like, I mean, it's just one move. It's like one move. It's not like 7 moves that I'm doing. It's like one move. You're like just covering my hips, staying nice and low, and I'm like, I'm taking your head and your neck, you know? But I think it kind of comes back to like the roots of jiu-jitsu in the way of like how many people stepped into like different Gracie academies and stuff like that back in the day to be like, dude, this doesn't work. You can't choke me out. I'm strong, you know? So I think it's just cool. I was even training with Hiron Gracie the other day at Gracie University, and he actually instilled this idea in me early about like keeping it playful, like starting in bad positions and just getting tapped and stuff like that. And if I had never had that idea, like, man, he told me that as I was like a 4-stripe white belt when I was like 12 years old, you know? And it was super important to me because it just has like created all this creativity across my whole jiu-jitsu. And like I was just saying before, buggy chokes are not the only thing I do, but I'm really happy that I delved into buggy chokes. I'm really happy that it works, and I'm really happy to like share it with people, you know? I would say it's very easily defended, to be honest, you know, to be straight up. Like just don't pass, just don't go to top side control, you know? But yeah, it's a really fun move, and I really do think everybody can do it. So I'm really excited to like, you know, I've been traveling a lot and sharing it with a lot of different people, and yeah, just really excited for it for sure. I mean, people can support me coming to my seminars, booking a private, anything like that. My website is just myname.com. So working on organizing everything, but everything's on my Instagram and my YouTube. I'm trying to grow my YouTube too. So yeah, but and everybody that sponsors me, they know who they are. So shout out to them. Inverted Gear, Pro Pen, you know, everybody that supports me knows. So shout out to everybody for sure. Buggy Choke the world.
Hey Rene, can't you teach me how to buggy? I know your 10th planet and I need you to show me you out back. Smoking weed with Eddie, why don't you come up front and teach me how to buggy? Cause I got to be ready for war as soon as they passing my quad.